What's up, y'all? It's Chad here. I was having some thoughts on negative thinking, and I wanted to explore that just a little bit. So, growing up with abuse changes the way a person sees the world. So, speaking of my personal experience as a child being physically abused, it does things like destroys self-confidence. Like, you come out of childhood with no ability to kind of think for yourself, and when you do, now this could be different for other people, but my thinking was always so negative. So in abuse, you develop symptoms with, like, for me, I have complex PTSD. And what that means is the way I view the world is through the lens of mistrust. I don't trust people with my heart, with my life very easily because of the trauma that I experienced through close relationships, people in leadership roles that abused me. So it's like, I don't guess where this comes from, but the point of what I'm talking about is my thinking was shaped in such a negative, mistrusting way that I'm having to unlearn and relearn how to interact with other people. So I was talking to Megan this morning. We were having coffee in bed, and she asked how I slept, and I said I slept great. And I even got out of bed and went to make coffee and stuff and wasn't having negative thoughts. And I kind of caught myself off guard, because a lot of times when I wake up in negativity. I can't explain that part. Like, nothing happened or whatever, but I'm just fucking irritated. And if something goes wrong in that little window of just getting up, it's like the end of the world. So I've been looking a lot at that, and what happens is I assume the worst. And Megan regularly points out, like, hey, do you really think that person is bad? Or, like, I can't think of what she says, but she makes comments, and I think, oh shit, yeah, that's really negative. And that's a stressful place to live. So now those that are watching, like, if you have complex PTSD, if you have trauma in your life because you've suffered at the hands of others, don't feel bad that maybe you're thinking negatively or catastrophically or worst case scenario. Like, there's a reason why you think like that. That's why I think the way I do is because I was provided with certain stimuli, like abuse, that changed the way I looked at the world. So this all connects with the 4 agreements as well. I've talked about that. The Don Miguel Ruiz, Dr. Ruiz, he wrote the 4 agreements, among other titles. But there's 2 main agreements that I'm working on. One is, don't take anything personally, and don't make assumptions. And I keep going back to that every time I think about this negative, whether it's negative self-talk or assumptions that I make about other people. That's starting to become, I'm starting to become more aware of the way I think. And to change that takes effort. So one of the things I do is, when I do catch myself making an assumption about a person, I recognize it, and I think, okay, I know why I think that way. And then I change my thinking, literally change it to, you know what? I bet that person really didn't mean to upset me. Or it's almost like I change to assuming the best. I'm not supposed to make assumptions, but at least you're changing it to a positive instead of a negative. And that practice is what's going to get me to a place of positive thinking. And I'm not like all hippy dippy about, oh, just be positive and life is so good. No, that's bullshit. When you think about a situation or a person and that initial negativity comes up, I need to change that. I'm not beating myself up about it, and I'm not being like, oh man, I'm so fucking negative. Oh, why can't it? Like, I've kind of gotten past that. But the fact that I'm so negative in my thinking and people would never think that I was, just means that it happens in my head. So the next time you hear something that maybe upsets you or irritates you, stop, take a pause. I mean, this is what I'm practicing, and I would highly recommend it. I'm not telling you what to do, but take a pause and look at the tone of your thought process. Is it negative? Is it positive? Is it neutral? Those are the three ways that we can view a situation or a person or whatever you want to call it. You can look at it positively, negatively, or neutrally. So another thing that I'm trying to do is inject assumptions that are positive, and then hopefully after that I will get to a place where I can just be neutral. Not like, if a feeling does come up, don't react to it. This is part of the practice. So if somebody says something to me that's negative, very clearly negative, I can just stop and say, okay, well, that really pissed me off. Like, I'm not saying it out loud. That really pissed me off. I wonder what it was that happened in that person's life today that would make them say that. Like, rarely, if ever, it's me doing something, like really fucking up something, or because I'm not a mean person. I don't intentionally do mean things to people. But when somebody reacts to something I do or say in a way that's irritating, I know that irritation is my job to look at. What they said or did doesn't have a damn thing to do with me. This was groundbreaking in my life. Just seeing people. I've also talked a lot about No Bad Parts, the book on internal family systems. So I'm looking at people and saying, wow, that was a really mean thing they did or said. I wonder what's behind that. That's it. Like, I won't know. I don't have a way to see what's happened to them. If it's somebody I know, then maybe I can talk to them about it at some point. But generally speaking, I'm usually just assuming that person is out to get me. I do this shit with my dog all the time. My dog is so, like, my dog loves me in a way that a human just can't. Like, she will do anything and everything to be with me and to, like, do what I want. But she's also a really smart dog and has her own thoughts and like ideas. But she'll whine about wanting to go out and play with me and throw the ball, and I just did that like 30 minutes ago, and I get so pissed. I take it personally, like, stop it. What do you... And that's a gauge for me with Karma to be able to say, oh my gosh, the only thing that this dog wants in life is to be with me. And Megan's pointed this out too. I'm like, God, would you shut? And she'll say, well, maybe she just wants to be with you. And it's like, oh, even with my dog, I tend to go to the negative place before I think, oh, we just did throw the ball, but she wants to do more. I understand, I get it, and just working with her. But no, I'm like, oh, she's just trying to piss me off. She's trying to take me away from what I'm doing right now, and that's not how it works. That's not reality. So the bottom line is that we get used to a certain way of thinking, whether it's positive, negative, neutral, and we can continue. I can continue to live that way, but I've seen what it can be like to be more positive, and that's what I want. So then I just have to continue to work daily on being aware of my negativity, understanding that comes from a place of trauma. I'm a traumatized individual, but I don't want to live my life with those same patterns of thinking, because it's stressful, it takes a lot of energy, and I lack connection with other people because I don't allow them the space they need to prove to me that they're good people, that they're nice people. I don't believe that there are bad people in the world. I just don't. I believe that we are all positive, loving, compassionate, wonderful humans, and we're all like that in the beginning. But just like in my life, where I had some really shitty things happen to me, and it shaped the way that I see the world, that wasn't my fault, and that's not who I am. That is not my true self. I don't believe that there are any bad humans at all. But we protect ourselves. Our protectors grow up with us and step up to protect us. So it's when I let my parts take over, they're just doing what they're supposed to do. They're trying to protect me. They're having me assume the worst about people in order to keep from being abused again. Well, I'm 53. I'm 6'3", 200 pounds. Like, there are not a whole lot of scenarios where someone's going to come abuse me or attempt to abuse me. I don't have to worry about that anymore. But because it happened in childhood and it shaped my perspective, my world view, and my view of humanity, I'm now just having to work on changing it. And that's the beautiful thing, is that these things can be changed. My negativity doesn't have to be the default mode for me. So as I learn to be aware of my negativity, and with the help of loving people like my wife, I can now start to see in a more positive way. But it takes practice, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy, but all of that completely overshadows living in negativity. Like, that energy and effort it takes for me to change is so much more worth it than expending energy on negativity and making assumptions about people that 99.9% of the time are not true. So that's my thoughts on negativity and how I can change. And it feels so much better. I feel lighter. My mood is more positive the more I practice this. And I don't think there's any of us humans out there that would turn down the opportunity to live a more positive life and to connect more with others. When we've been hurt, when I was hurt by the abuse that I suffered in childhood, that trauma is part of me now and is something I have to live with, but I'm okay with that. I'm happier now because I'm aware of all of this and I'm actively working on becoming a more positive person. So if you've suffered trauma, if you have trauma, you've suffered at the hands of others through abuse, it might help to look at how you view the world, how you view others. And I'm not saying let your guard down completely. Like, we're all at different stages in our recovery and our drive to become more positive or healthy, or however you want to state it. But yeah, it's just a much freer place to live. I would highly recommend it. So as always, I love you. You're worthy of positivity and health and wellness and receiving love. You are worthy. You're a great person. Maybe some things have come up that have pushed you into negativity like they did with me, but I'm telling you, it's a much better place to live in positivity than assuming the worst and planning for the worst and then hoping for the best. So, all right, you guys, I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.